I covered the 3 reasons I got rid of the Goldwing and bought a Triumph Street Triple RS. Like or comment if you've ever gotten rid of one of your motorcycles or downgraded a motorcycle for something smaller and more suited for your riding style. So if you've ever done that, you might enjoy this. So the first reason is intended use, right? So the Honda Goldwing is a luxury touring motorcycle. Because of that, its intended use is mainly, I would say, strictly touring. You can ride it around the back roads like I was, but that's not where it really shines. It shines on the highway going 80 miles an hour. It shines as being, I would say, arguably more comfortable than most people's SUVs, four-wheel vehicles. So intended use for me, I would leave the state or go on like a long tour, right? Maybe once or twice a year, right? So it's probably like 5% of my riding would be considered like long distance or touring. The other 95+% of my riding is this. Going on back roads, country roads, twisty roads. That's what I enjoy doing. And that's simply not what the Goldwing is built to do. And I would say, arguably, that for the Street Triple, it's absolutely perfect for like this type of ride. The Street Triple is probably one of the most agile, best handling motorcycles out there. One of them, at least. It's pretty quick as well. And for twisty roads, this is really fun bike to ride. The fun factor is off the charts. For anyone who's been riding touring bikes for a long time, you may have forgotten, maybe not, but at least for me, I forgot how, the difference in handling compared to, an 800-pound motorcycle like this guy right here, or, a 400-pound motorcycle like the one I'm on. It's a significant difference in how it handles and just how it feels when you're riding. Number 2. Number 2, we're going to go with practicality. The Honda Goldwing is close to a $30,000 motorcycle. Again, it weighs close to 900 pounds. Definitely over 1,000 pounds with a 200-pound person on it. I'm just under 200, but I was still over 1,000 pounds with that bike for myself, the gear and everything. So like practicality, the Triumph, you can easily move it around. It takes much less space in the garage. You can easily move it around. The Goldwing had a reverse, and it had a reverse for a reason, because it's extremely heavy and difficult to move around without some assistance. Practicality, I feel like this is just more practical. It's at a lower price point. Cost-wise, maintenance. I don't know about maintenance cost overall or total cost. I would say still total cost of ownership. I would say the Goldwing probably is still higher. I know the Goldwing has, it's pretty rock solid. That giant bird. The Goldwing's pretty rock solid in terms of it has a long maintenance interval. This one's not bad, but I think it's 6,000. I think that was, around the same as the Goldwing, maybe a little bit higher, but at the same time, total cost of ownership, I would imagine that this bike being less than half of the Goldwing is probably going to still be less expensive. So, number 3, I'm going to go with performance. There's a significant difference between performance, right? If you're looking at specs, you might say the Goldwing has 100 and I think they say 125 horsepower and around 108 pounds of torque or somewhere around 90 pounds of torque. And it needs it, right? It needs that for its weight. It's definitely fun. You put that in sport mode. It's fun to rev out the 6-cylinder. Sounds awesome. But you can tell there's a huge difference, right? So this Triumph is, I think it's just under 130 horsepower. I think maybe 60 or 70 foot-pounds of torque, right? But it's half the weight. So you really have to look at the power to weight ratio of your motorcycle. You can see this bike is, with the same numbers, right? About the same numbers in terms of horsepower, significantly faster motorcycle than the Goldwing. And that might not be something that you're interested in, but it's that fun factor, right? So if you're riding your bike, and if your intended use again is like my intended use, just like on these back streets, or touring, twisty roads, getting into a corner, getting out of it, and you're going to really appreciate the performance of this bike all around, right? So suspension-wise, this Street Triple does have premium suspension. Goldwing did have really good suspension as well. What I probably really liked about the Goldwing suspension was that it was electronic. So you put it in sport mode and it would stiffen that suspension up automatically for you. This does not have electronic suspension. I think the Speed Triple does. But this is manual. Adjustments, I adjusted it. I set everything to sport. So to recap, 3 reasons I ended up. I don't know. I wouldn't call it trading down. I wouldn't call it a downgrade. I actually consider it an upgrade, even though the cost has gone down. Right? So the main reason, all 3 reasons, right? One was my intended use, practicality, and performance. So that's it. That's why I ended up getting rid of the Goldwing, and now I'm happily enjoying a Triumph Street Triple RS. Alright, a bonus. The bonus is also fitness. Okay? So one of the original reasons I started heading down towards the touring line motorcycling for me. Not my original era, but this old era. I started with the 900, the Z900 RS, because I like the looks, the classic look. Performed pretty well, but I was really uncomfortable on it. And I was really uncomfortable on it, not because it's an uncomfortable bike, but because of my fitness level at the time, and it started declining. Really started declining, so I ended up getting bigger, heavier bikes, because it was more, there's bigger, heavier bikes that were more comfortable. So bigger, heavier bikes went from Concours 14 to a Road King to the Goldwing. But during that phase, I also started getting more in shape. And now I'm in very good shape. And I feel like your bike almost matches your style, your current style of personality, right? And just your fitness level as well, right? So potentially, right? Of course, you can be super fit and enjoy like a slow, no, I don't want to say slow, but enjoy a very comfortable, flush, non-performance oriented ride. But again, if it's comfort level, and that comfort level may just be due to fitness level of yourself. That's one of the other reasons of moving from the heavy touring bike down to a more athletic bike like the Street Triple, Street to my increased fitness level myself, which makes riding this bike feel very comfortable on this bike. It seems like it's where you want to be when you're riding. Especially if you're going into corners, this is like the position you want to be in, right? So, that was the bonus reason. Alright, continue going through this. My favorite road, Creek Road. Alright, till next time.